Alright everybody, we're back with another BDSP video. Today's video is going to be BDSP CAP, and if you guys don't know what CAP is in Smogon, it basically stands for Create a Pokemon, where Smogon have created fan-made Pokemon all with all sorts of different movesets, all sorts of different stats, and all sorts of different mon roles and all sorts of stuff. So CAP, if you never played CAP, there's a lot of like CAP Pokemon. If we go onto the team builder, this is only like, because it's BDSP, only the caps that were made in the generation, like obviously Gen 1 to Gen 4 is BDSP. So yeah, these are the only caps that are available in Generation 4, but there's been a lot more caps ever since these ones that you see. If we go to current Generation 8, you can see there's a lot more caps than what you have in BDSP. Regardless, the concept is still the same. You have all sorts of Pokemon that have all sorts of stats, and some of these mons, if they actually existed in real like Pokemon, some of these would be absolutely cracked. Like, some of these stat distributions are insane. Some of the move pools that they have is insane. Some of the signature moves that they have is insane. If we come and look at Colossoil here, is a guts user that's like faster than Heracross, base 122 attack, and it has ground dark stab, like, is insane. It also has like rapid spin, which now boosts your speed. So it's just insane how much this mon can do, and all sorts of like different sorts of mons. They even had mega evolutions. They're like, Crucible has a mega evolution. I'm not too sure if that can be used in Generation 8 because there's no megas, but it's here. So yeah, today's video will be BDSP CAP Spring Tournament Round 1 against Adem, and yeah, I just played this series now, and you know, it's early on in the day, so I'm just trying to get this out of the way so I can like do work, and yeah, have exams soon, so video frequency isn't going to be too high, but I'm going to see how much I can get going, you know. So but yeah, I'll show you guys my team, because you're going to see some of these CAP Pokemon and you're like, what do these CAP Pokemon do? So the first team I decided to use was a team around Specs Porygon Z, and I still think Porygon Z is pretty underrated, especially in CAP, where like, not like, there's a lot of things that aren't particularly standard. Like, Scissor is still like a pretty good mon in CAP because you have something like Latios and stuff, but Porygon Z otherwise just like clicks, you know, Tri Attack versus a lot of OU and CAP, so it's insane how much this one can do. Kitsuno, which is a CAP as well, it has a good speed tier and good attack, and it has Iron Fist, which boosts Meteor Mash damage, so it has a really reliable stab. Has U-turn, and it has its signature ghost move, Shadow Strike, which has a 50% chance to lower defense. So when this one's using Band or Life Orb, it's very scary to be getting hit by Shadow Strikes, especially when the resists aren't too common. Argonaut, arguably the best Pokemon in BDSP CAP, because it has Unaware, and if you look at its defensive stat distribution, is insane. 105 HP with 95 defense and 100 speed def. It's very bulky. Has recovery as well, and it has spikes. Like, this one does a lot. Is some people have been telling me it's potentially ban worthy in CAP, which I can understand why. This one is just too bulky. He gets away with like just living hits it shouldn't be living, but yeah, it's a very good utility mon, has the stats to back up, and it also has recovery. So yeah, it's very good. Scissor, obviously, Latios answer, max special defense. We have Cyclone as well, which is another CAP. It basically, its ability Mountaineer is essentially a heavy duty boots ability, and it basically avoids stealth rocks and rock type attacks. So plus the boots, like, you don't ignore spikes, but you're able to ignore stealth rock and switch into any rock type move that's coming out, which is pretty cool. Choice Band, look at its stats, it's cracked. Like 116 attack, base 121 speed. It can even go freaking special attacking because it has base 114 special attack. So yeah, I decided to go Banded here because U-turn is gonna hit like a truck, you know, just pivoting, trying to get in Porygon Z. And yeah, the only thing bad about Cyclone is obviously the type. In Ice Bug does nothing defensively at all. So obviously its ability helps out with rock, so it's helped out a little bit, but Ice Bug doesn't really have any useful resistances. You lose your fighting resistance that Bug gives you, and yeah, and it's not a bulky mon either, so it will just drop to any attack. And then lastly we have attacking Heatran, which I don't think most people expect, but Magnus Storm coming off with 130 special attack is pretty good. But yeah, that's enough about explaining the team. You'll see how it works in the replay of game 1. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy. So he leads off with Krillowat, which is also another cat Pokemon. Essentially what it does is Magic Guard Life Orb. It's a very fast mon. It has base 105 speed with like a huge HP stat. So like it surprisingly lives a lot of hits, and the Water Electric is even bad defensively. Like you only have a few weaknesses, so like it just lives most of the time, which is pretty cool. So freaking something came up. So here I Earthquake, and like it just goes to show that his HP stat is ridiculous, because this is Bandit Cyclone, which has like base 116 attack, like I said, and that mon just lived it. So he goes Stratagem, which is a fast special attacking rock type, which is probably most likely Specs here because he swaps out on the energy ball, and that's just a free U-turn on my Scissor. I go Heatran because it's attacking Heatran. Obviously he has a Gastrodon here, which is always a switching, but rocks can come up to, you know, kill Pyrox like HP. So you go Scissor here, and Argonaut, obviously Scissor doesn't really do anything to this because it's unaware, and you have Circle Throw. You can just kind of just spike it or just phase it out. So Scissor is never really a threat to Argonaut at all. So he goes Krillowat as on the Circle Throw, and obviously Krillowat goes down. Here he goes Pyroke, which obviously is a grass type and I can't do anything. So I go Heatran as he sets on rocks, and he goes Stratagem here, and I go up my rocks. I don't know, I saw Pyroke does get Earthquake, but at the same time I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna get my rocks up. So on the turn that he brings in the Stratagem on the rocks, this turn, like I was seeing if Stratagem has Earth Power. Of course it has Earth Power, so like Heatran would die. But I think he was predicting my Scissor to come in, and I saw that it had you know, fire coverage on the team builder. So I was like, no way I'm going Scissor here. So he goes for Flash Fire, and I Earth Power Stratagem, not knowing it has Levitate. So I was just like, that really sucks, because if I clicked Magma Storm versus that would have done a lot of damage, because even though the resist Stratagem has like no defenses, so like that would have done a lot of damage. So I felt really bad about that. And like the whole game, he was confused why I stayed in. Like it's a standard play. If I know that you have a fire type move and Scissor is a guaranteed switch into Stratagem, if it clicks, it's even no, not even a guaranteed switch in. Like if you click the rock move, like Scissor doesn't resist rock, like it is neutral. So even then, I'm not too sure you had to risk that clicking Fire Blast when probably Scissor couldn't get potentially 2-hit KO'd, but I don't know, man. But yeah, miss a Magma Storm here, and that kind of sucks, but what can you do? Scold doesn't burn my Argonaut, which I really appreciate, because this mon Circle Throws are pretty useful. I Circle Throw the Pyroke switch in, and obviously Gastrodon comes out again, and at this point I'm just like, I need to set up like spikes or something, because I'm in the position where I can do that. And yeah, so I decided to Circle Throw again. So I didn't know it had Levitate, to be fair. Like I completely forgot. But yeah, Unaware Clef comes out on the spikes and rock, and takes a good chunk of HP. I go Kitsuno here because like I'm thinking, is it gonna set up on me? But I go Stratagem, and obviously I'm Scarf Kitsuno and he's like Specs. So to be honest, I could have U-turned. Well, I could even Shadow Striked, but I Meteor Mash, get the attack boost, which is kind of big actually, because I'm able to kill Gastrodon there. And yeah, he's able to go out onto Scissor. I actually stayed in on Scissor because I'm like, I'm at +1, bro. Like it still does 33 to split up Scissor, which is pretty good at +1. I go Heatran here because at this point, like I can just come in on Scissor every time and just hit Magma Storm. I land Magma Storm, which was very useful, and I keep my hazards up. And yeah, it's pretty much game here. Yeah, not much you could have done there. Scarf Kitsuno pretty much can just win the game. I can Shadow Strike, get a defense drop on you know, Ami's unaware, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, Pyroke takes spikes and rocks, is a fire type, so it takes extra rocks damage. Stratagem has no defense, and yeah, the game was pretty much done there. So on to game 2. And we both have a Colossoil, and as I said earlier in the video, Colossoil is a fast guts user with really strong stabs. He decides to bring webs against me, and I'm just like, oh bother, this is gonna be annoying. But I have my own Krillowat of myself, which looks very strong versus his team. because you know it has a really good speed to it. It lives pretty much most attacks that aren't super effective, and it can just hit back really hard. Argonaut again, because Argonaut is the best mon in the tier. Gliscor for like hazard removal, Scar Staraptor, and then this is Voodoo. Now in Generation 8, like Sword and Shield Cap, Voodoo is horrendously bad. Like it's so bad that I had to get buffed. Like the thing is about Cap mons, you can buff them, and what do you call it? Voodoo special attack got raised from like 110 to 130, so it hits a lot harder now, and it's not good in normal Sword and Shield Cap, but here it reigns. Like it's a really strong special attacker, and sure fairy types really hurt it because it's a fighting dark type. Like fairy types didn't exist. Oh god, it'll go off. It's crazy, but yeah. So yeah, let's start this game. Don't want to really drag this on for too long, but I start with Krillowop because I can just volt switch on Smeargle and just sleep something. I have nothing to take the sleep, so I'm just like Staraptor. Don't really need you this game realistically. Here I decided to go on to Colossoil just in case he decides to you know, web up on something, because Spin will just kill Smeargle. So he goes Togekiss here on the rapid spin. It does 31, ridiculous damage for a rapid spin. So I go on to Krillowop here, and he goes Nidoking, and I'm just like, Nidoking just dies to Surf. Like I'm a water type, like that just dies. Infernape comes on, obviously he outspeeds me, but you know, Krillowop's HP stat is so high, I'll just live any attack. So Tumon's down by turn 6, like really good stuff. He sucker punches me, doesn't even kill, and this thing manages to survive Life Orb Surf, which I'm really shocked about, but yeah, it dies there. And half his team is down by turn 8. I bring out my own Colossoil because I'm just like, I can just break and, you know, win. But Dazzling Gleam does not kill Colossoil. This one has some bulk as well, which is insane. I rapid spin, get the crit there, doesn't matter. And Togekiss is down. Now Azumarill is some scary stuff because like it can belly drum. Oh, why did I reset it? That's, my mouse is acting up. I didn't mean to click that. So Azumarill is out here, and I decided to Earthquake here because I know this belly drum, and yeah, it's looking hella dangerous for my team. I think Argonaut can live play rough from full HP because it's max defense, but obviously Unaware ignores the +6 attack. So I was thinking, even if Azu somehow sets up belly drum, I feel like I have a shot of winning the game, but it's still some scary stuff. But he decides not to kick the Aqua Jet versus my Colossoil, so I just decided to Earthquake, almost get the kill. I feel like that was a roll really that I didn't get, but regardless, so he decides to belly drum here, and he says that's a misclick. Whether that was a misclick or not, probably was. Like Aqua Jet was the play, so yeah. And apparently would have won if he got the roll. Let's think about that quickly. I don't know. Adam was a bit mad about this game, which perfectly understandable. Like the Heatran play on the Pyro, not the Stratagem. Like that was just me not knowing the ability. Like I would probably not have stayed in if I knew the ability. But either way, this one, if Colossoil died to Togekiss, how would I have won the game? Because Staraptor is sleeping. Voodoo Flash Cannon. Like you have. So at that point in the game, you have one. You don't have a Steel Resist, and yeah, I don't see how getting the low roll would have made you win the game. Because if you look at Togekiss's HP, like I knock off there. Yeah, so if you got the kill, I would have just gone Voodoo and clicked Flash Cannon. No, I didn't even need to click Flash Cannon. I could have just clicked T-Bolt, and Azu would have just kind of just dropped and wouldn't be able to set up. Argonaut would have just won in the end. So I don't know why he thought that made the difference in the long run. Like looking at it, I could have easily just gone down to Voodoo if Colossoil died. T-Bolt would have 2-hit killed. I think Azu could have straight up died, but I'm going to check the counts for that later because I don't know. I feel like I'll just making excuses. But either way, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully, you guys will try out CAP in the future. I feel like CAP is one of the tiers I want to try and get into, maybe in Generation 9. It is fun. Really depends how that landscape of Gen 9 OU is going to look like, because CAP obviously just adds the CAP mons into the OU metagame, and that's basically what CAP is. So hopefully it'll be fun enough. I have been enjoying BDSP CAP, even though there isn't that many people playing it. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching the video again, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.